All right, welcome everyone to the second of two videos. This is method 2. Welcome back. Any of you have watched the first one as well. Um, this method is going to require us to add or subtract first and then use a very simple way to finish this problem. Now, it's essentially the same as method 1, but it just looks a little bit different. We're still going to be looking at the least common denominator for the entire equation. After you have figured that out, we're going to create common denominators and actually do the addition or subtraction that is shown in the problem. Once we have that addition or subtraction completed, we're then able to set the numerators equal to each other. And that essentially is because if we were to look at a fraction that looks like this, if I said 2 over 3 is equal to x over 3, these have the same denominators. That means that x has to be 2. That just that's the only thing that x could be if the denominators are the same. Okay, so we're going to use that principle in solving this particular method. So same as before, we're going to solve the remaining polynomial equation and check your answers to remove any extraneous solutions from your final result or final answer. So let's take a look at a couple examples using this particular method. We won't use as many examples as the last time, but we're going to look at 1 over 2x minus 1 over 5x is equal to 1 over 2. Now, if we looked at the LCD, I can't change a 2 into a 5 or a 5 into a 2, which means I have to multiply them together to get a 10. And these two have x's on them, so I need an x over here. So we're going to say the LCD is 10x, or essentially 2 times 5 times x. Now, this has a 2 and an x, so I need to multiply by 5 and 5. This has a 5 and an x, so I need to multiply by 2 and a 2. This has just the 2, so I need to multiply 5 and by x, so I need to multiply by 5 and x. So here in the far left, I get 5 times 1, which is 5, over 10x, minus 2 over 10x is equal to 5x over 10x. Now, as the how-to slide mentioned, we're going to combine the fractions that require the addition or subtraction. And we're going to say 5 minus 2, since they have common denominators, is 3 over 10x. And we're going to get a 5x over 10x. Sorry about that. 5x over 10x. And now that they have common denominators, I can set the two numerators equal to each other. So that means that 3 has to equal 5x. And I'm just going to divide by 5, divide by 5. And therefore, x in this case is 3/5. That really is it. It's essentially the same as method 1, just looks a little bit different because we're not canceling the fractions. What about another example? Let's take a look at this one. We get 4 over x minus 3 over x plus 1 is equal to 1. If I were to look for the LCD in this case is I have an x here, but I have an x plus 1. Those are completely different, so that means it's x times x plus 1. And this denominator here is just a 1, so that means that's going to be my LCD here. Since I have the x, this one needs an x plus 1. This one here has the x plus 1, and therefore it needs the x. And this one has neither, so I need to put them both in here. All right, so here we go. We get distribute over here. We get 4x plus 4 over x times x plus 1 minus 3 times x, which is just 3x, over x times x plus 1 equals, I'm going to well, let's just leave it for now. Let's go x times x plus 1 over x times x plus 1. Simplify the left side. We get 4x minus 3x, which is 1x. 4 minus nothing is just a 4. And I didn't do anything on the right side. All right, since we have common denominators, I can now set the numerators equal to each other. So I get x plus 4 equals x times x plus 1. I need to distribute, so I get x squared plus x equals x plus 4. We're going to minus x minus 4 minus 4. We now get a nice simple equation that says 0 is equal to x squared minus 4, which is a nice simple factoring of x plus 2 and x minus 2, which means x is equal to 2 and negative 2. And since neither of those two values make bad numbers in the denominator, or zeros in the denominator, those are our solutions. All right, so if you watch the first video and you watch this video, choose which method makes more sense to you. It doesn't matter because solving an equation is about getting the answer, not necessarily the method in which you choose to do your answer. All right, so I'm going to leave you with this as I always do. Again, I hope you learned a little bit, and I will see you guys later.